To live in higher consciousness. What does that mean? Why would one choose to live in higher consciousness? What would it bring to one's life? What would it bring in one's creation? Higher consciousness is a choice that is always given every moment in time. One's choose higher consciousness or not. So when we speak about higher consciousness, what we are speaking about is an elevated sense of consciousness. To be conscious of what? In higher consciousness resides, we want to say, eternal light. Eternal light, most would agree, is only we want to say expansion, endless expansion. There are no words that even come close to describing love as eternal light is. Higher consciousness in human physical form is the choice to bring forth the greatest sense of love in a nutshell. And ones will say, well, I am loving, I give love. In that space, in the components of eternal light, we have shared time and time and time again. Compassion, kindness, forgiveness, love, grace, joy, peace, if you will. Higher consciousness is making a choice to live in great compassion, great kindness, great love, great forgiveness. And most are compassionate beings. Most are kind beings. Most will find forgiveness for something. Most love something. But what we share is that all is a choice, and in the choice is the level of compassion. We have shared that if there was a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, higher consciousness is truly residing at the 10 level in compassion, kindness, love, forgiveness, grace, peace. When ones are compassionate, it is fascinating that one can be at a level 10 and be compassionate to an animal, to a stranger, and be at a 2 in compassion towards a family member, a spouse, a friend. And then there are some who are at a 10 being compassionate to a lover, a spouse, a family member, an animal, and only at a 1 and 2 for a stranger. And we have shared many times that kindness, forgiveness, love, and compassion all run on these scales. So one may be at a 10 to love their spouse and their lover and their family, their son, their daughter, their mother, their father, and treat themselves so unkind, not loving oneself. at a one for love for oneself. Isn't it fascinating? So higher consciousness, in a previous segment, we mentioned that it is vast. Consciousness is expansive. When you think of the universe, think of the vastness in the sky. There is no end, no beginning, no end. Consciousness, when elevated, brings forth an exceptional vibration that matches the vibration on a higher realm, if you will. Want to be careful with our wording: universe, vastness, oneness, wholeness. Creation is created with only love. All creation is love. All of it. Some would believe that, some would not, and we are not here to change a belief. All creation holds extraordinary miracles because creation is the miracle itself. And we ask the question, where were you before your arrival upon Mother Earth? And we share that you are a miracle creating miracles, and most would not agree. Most would think that is such BS. What do you mean, a miracle creating miracles? Do you know my life? Do you know who I am? I don't live up to anything. I haven't accomplished anything. How can I be a miracle? Higher consciousness is bringing forth not only the understanding, but the deep intuitive knowing that one is a miracle, and all that is created is miracles. Think about the physical apparatus. Think about your physical body. Think about all the functioning of the physical body that you do not even truly pay attention to in your daily world. Think about every breath that is taken. Think about every heartbeat. Think about all the workings, the inner workings of the human body. Think about the healing and the rejuvenating and the replenishing. Think about the masterpiece of the human body. It is extraordinary. When you see yourself, your human body, as an extraordinary miracle, chances are you would not condemn. You would not place judgment or put down, have unkind words to any appearance, if you will. In the understanding that all is one, but there is only one of you. Only one in all creation. Think of the billions of creation. Not just items and objects and people and animals. We're speaking about creation of any one thing. Creation of flowers, just creation upon Mother Earth. Billions of endless creations. And there is only one you. And most find a space to condemn the only one there is. Your authentic, beautiful self, so often becomes condemned under social conditioning, if you will, under what one perceives as beauty or not, what one perceives as socially adequate or not. When ones can understand of the miracle of life itself, in life itself, with all the creations, one is well on their way to higher consciousness. So why would one want to explore, move upwards, if you will, in consciousness? Why would one choose to do that? Because it is a choice. Kindness is a choice. To be kind is a choice. To be unkind is a choice. To be forgiving, to not be forgiving, all a choice. To see yourself as a miracle or see yourself as fill in the blank. Take one of those unkind words that you share to yourself on a regular basis. Higher consciousness would never permit one's thoughts to say an unkind word to oneself or to anyone. Who sets the bar? Who sets the bar of any one thing? Who sets the bar on beauty or what is perceived as beauty? Who sets the bar on success? What ones would perceive as success? And isn't it fascinating that one would feel successful when they open their eyes in the morning, and another not feel successful until perhaps $1 million is in the bank, until they achieve or obtain what they are wanting? They do not feel successful until they've reached their goal. And others feel successful because they walk upon Mother Earth. They are successful because they have only displayed kindness to another. They are successful because they've only shared compassion to another. So back to the question, why would ones choose higher consciousness? Is it necessary? No, it is not necessary. Most do not even search. Most live their day moving along, yes, being kind, yes, being compassionate, yes, being loving, yes, being forgiving. But at what level? And there are some who are truly unkind to all things, have very little compassion, if any, to all things, including themselves. So when we speak about compassion, kindness, love, forgiveness, all this is for oneself. Yes, it is for another or others, but truly it is for oneself. So in a previous segment, we spoke about vibration and personal energy, vibration and energy. Higher consciousness allows a space to raise, if you will, personal energy. When one raises their personal energy of all things good, one can create from the place of miracles. And we're not kidding. And some would not even believe a miracle is even possible. They cannot see themselves as a miracle. They cannot see Mother Earth as a miracle. They cannot even see, we want to say, Mother Nature as miracles. A butterfly, caterpillar to butterfly, how can that not be a miracle? How can that not be a miracle? A little caterpillar walking along with having legs, knowing to create a cocoon, knowing that there is a transition that is to be formed, if you will, moving along, being guided with their own intuition, being guided by their own inner essence of all. And in time, finding the space to emerge from, we want to say, the darkness, into the sunlight, only to have discovered the magnificent creation of wings to take flight. Walking along an extraordinary, miraculous transition, and now one has wings to take flight. That is a miracle. What we are sharing, metaphor or not, what we are sharing is that you have the ability to walk along Mother Earth, and if you follow your greatest inner essence of all that is, you have the ability, the capability to transform into the grandness of all that you are. You would acquire your wings, metaphor or not, to take flight. When you can see yourself as a miracle, and all things upon Mother Earth, all creation, every star in the sky, you elevate yourself out of the darkness. You elevate out of the darkness. Who would you be if you knew you had wings? Meaning, who would you be if you elevated your consciousness and your compassion, your love, forgiveness, kindness, all to oneself and to others? Who would you be? What would your life look like if you brought and elevated the grandest love to all things? To love the unloving, that's higher consciousness. To forgive something that feels unforgiving, higher consciousness. And it all has to be authentic. You cannot fake it. You cannot fake forgiveness. We want to share that gratitude for all things, all creation, is a key component. It is an emotion to be felt when one is feeling grateful. So often ones do not feel grateful, almost removing it from their daily lives. Why is that? Not grateful for themselves, not grateful for any days, if you will, upon Mother Earth, moving along, not feeling very much of any one thing. When one is in the state of love, one is naturally in the state of gratitude. They go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. So when you think of that scale, and you think compassion at a 10, let us say for a spouse, a lover, a son, daughter. Truly, you would only feel gratitude towards what you are most loving to. Ponder that. And if one is at a 1 or 2 of compassion for a total stranger, how many would feel grateful for a stranger? So gratitude, it is a choice, but not like the other four, if you will. Because gratitude naturally will be when ones are living in higher consciousness. It goes hand in hand. You can bring forth gratitude by being mindful of gratitude, but again, higher consciousness is being mindful to bring forth love, to bring forth compassion, to bring forth forgiveness, to bring forth kindness. And all has to come from a heart space, if you will. You cannot fake compassion, and you cannot fake gratitude. But the vibration on the planet is love in creation, divine creation. Only love that would be felt. So when ones elevate their consciousness to bring forth the elevation of love, compassion, kindness, forgiveness, to bring forth and elevate their sense of gratitude, it matches universal forces. It matches universal love. And so when one raises their consciousness, one is truly raising their frequency to be a vibrational match to the universe. To the universe. And in this space and time, the creation of goodness, dreams, wishes, desires, truly are abundant. The receiving of miracles, and not only the receiving of, the giving of miracles. When one is living in higher consciousness, higher compassion, would you not agree that they bring miracles to others? An example, hundreds of examples. Someone with a high level of compassion would not pass by someone suffering on the street. They may stop and ask, "Are you okay? Do you need something? May I be of assistance to you? Have you eaten today?" etc. Would the receiver of the kindness, would they perceive that one as a miracle? Would the receiver of the kindness, when someone is so down and out, and kindness, compassion, love comes their way, non-judgment comes their way, would that person not look like an angel on earth? The one that has stopped to ask, "Are you okay? May I help you? Would you like to speak? Would you like to have a conversation?" The one in the receiving mode would feel an angel has just appeared, and they would feel that an angel is a miracle. So imagine if you lived your life, your days, offering such a vibrational match to the universe that you indeed look like a miracle to others. You then look like the angel placed on earth, would you not? For how would an angel with their wings treat someone in need, or treat anyone? To think of an angel being any less than would feel absurd. An angel being called upon, a prayer to be answered, if you will. The vibrational match alone creates one that is living in higher consciousness to be at the right place at the right time in the right moment, to be the goodness on the planet. We're not kidding. And it's not about endless help for others. It is about being a vibrational match to love itself. There are no mistakes in creation. There are no mistakes in creation. All for grand reason and great purpose. And ones will say, I don't know my purpose. And perhaps the one that is living on the street could not ever know their purpose. And yet do not be fooled, for there are many angels in disguise to bring forth compassion, kindness, love, forgiveness among mankind. An angel does not just appear in one's mind, this standard, if you will, beautiful angel with beautiful expansive wings and light extending. Do not be surprised if the one that is living on the street is only disguised, but truly an angel placed upon Mother Earth to elevate consciousness itself. When you can see that all creation is a miracle, you have discovered eternal light. Your eternal light is part of who you are. It becomes buried and perhaps feeling dim or non-existent in life experience. When life beats one, if you will, takes one to their knees in absolute anguish and pain, suffering, one would question, well, where are the angels now? Where is it all now? When ones understand that contrast in life has the ability, if you will, to raise consciousness, compassion, love, forgiveness, kindness. There are ones who have transitioned from the darkest spaces, emerging into higher consciousness, metaphor, emerging into the sunlight to find their wings. So many would agree that something that truly hurt her heart, if there is love placed towards the hurt and the upset, let's be mild now, it changes one's outlook. Now it can change one way or the other. Isn't it something that out of loss, someone could hang on to that feeling of each moment, each day of their life, and feeling the emotions with it, perhaps angry, there was loss, resentful, perhaps even jealousy, perhaps feeling less than, feeling unworthy, perhaps feeling that they are being punished for something. And then another has the same loss, if you will, in perception. Each perception would be different. Each experience would be different. But loss of something that truly takes one to their knees. And they find a way to search for the light in the darkness. And they search for the compassion of it. They search for the forgiveness of it. They search for the love in it. They search for the blessing in it, and they emerge into the light. It is difficult to walk your steps upon Mother Earth in the state of anguish if it is carried and carried and carried, becoming part of a personality. Part of a personality. Ones will hang on to something that happened decades before, and still reflecting back onto that time, bringing forth the ill feelings and carrying the emotions with it. Higher consciousness allows the release of. Higher consciousness is freedom, and it is your freedom. We will conclude this segment, and eager to share. There is great love for you.